everyone, this is Blake at School of Cards. This is part one of our bet sizing series. We're going to be talking about pre-flop betting. Alright, so basically what pre-flop betting is, I don't really advocate maxims for poker, so you never should always do something. But there's one exception, is usually pre-flop betting. I strongly believe that you should standardize your pre-flop bet size. Too many players give away a ton of information by basically correlating their bet size with their hand strength. So they'll technically, they'll always raise like maybe 4x or 5x the big blind with ace king, or they'll raise 2x to 3x with small pocket pairs, and they'll call with their made hands, and it makes your hands so transparent. If you always raise the same amount every single time pre-flop, it becomes a lot more difficult for other players to read what your hands are. And that goes the same for my 3-bet and 4-bet ranges as well. I think usually when I 3-bet or when I re-raise somebody, it's usually 3 times the previous raise. I don't really change it that much. I believe this is the best thing because it minimizes information. Also, that 3x raise, so basically you're going to raise 3 times the big blind, and then you're going to add 1 big blind for every additional limper. Now, if you do this, you're also preventing players from getting the proper pot odds to call you. So that's why that 3x has become an industry standard. Now, this may not work. Like, I know at Atlantic City or at Vegas at a 1-2 table, you raise 3 times the big blind in the first hand, you get 50 callers. Everybody calls you. So what you really want to do is you're going to have to feel the table out. Some tables, you're going to need to raise 5 times the big blind in order to your raise to actually mean something. And this is perfectly fine. Just make sure you standardize that raise. So you're always raising 5, not sometimes 3, sometimes 5, sometimes 10. It's not good to do that. The only exception I deviate from 3x, sometimes online, like when I'm playing Rush Poker online, I tend to raise 4x in lower stakes games just because there's a lot of fish, and I kind of want to build big pots, so I want to get involved in big pots. So another way of adding a little value is raising 4x as opposed to 3x. But I don't really feel the number is that important as long as you're not raising like 10x. I mean, 3.5, 2.5, 3, 4, whatever works is fine. It's just make sure you standardize it. Some players like to standardize their raises from position. I kind of disagree because I think people tend to forget. So I think you pick a number, you stick to it, and that's what you raise. You'll minimize information this way, and it'll be significantly harder for you to read. You'll also make sure that you'll know that you're preventing other players from getting the proper pot odds to call you. In our next series, we're going to just talk about post-flop betting strategies and talk a little bit more about how to extract maximum value from players.